because tonight I want to virtually take you to Iceland. And thank you, Sally, for the introduction. And I hope that you will get to daydream a little bit about visiting our amazing country that is Iceland. First, I want to tell you quickly about Reykjavik, our capital city. Iceland is a very, very small population. I'm not going to say country, because believe it or not, the island itself is roughly the size of the UK. So the island itself is quite large, but the population is only 350,000 people in the entire country. 250,000 of those people live around the capital area. So you can maybe imagine how much space and nature we have to offer in Iceland. When it comes to the city Reykjavik, it's a beautiful, small, colorful, compact city. However, it's not your typical city break destination. So coming to Iceland, you're not going to just stay in Reykjavik, the capital, and that's it. You want to go out and explore the beautiful nature that is Iceland. However, Reykjavik is still worth half a day or one day to stroll around and explore it on your own, to be honest. What we recommend doing in the winter months is base yourself in the capital. And this is because our roads are snowy and icy in the winter months. So you don't really want to venture much off on your own. So typically when you stay in the capital, we will pick you up and we will drop you off for all of the guided excursions. And I want to take you through that. You can stay there for 3 to 7 nights in the capital without being bored for a minute, because we have so much to offer as guided day tours. First of all, I want to tell you about the Blue Lagoon. I'm sure that probably all of you have heard about that. It's such a bucket list ticker. It is the amazing Blue Lagoon of Iceland. It is located right here, very close to the airport. So a very common thing to do is to visit the Blue Lagoon when you arrive or when you depart, and do it en route from or to the airport. This will save both time and money, especially if you're on a short break. The most common question I get, at least, is, isn't the Blue Lagoon, commercial? And we cannot deny the fact that the Blue Lagoon is commercial for a very good reason, because you have to visit the Blue Lagoon. They have thankfully expanded the Blue Lagoon, and now they have controlled the entrance time. So you have to plan it very well. Sorry, people are still jumping in. So you have to plan it very well. But once you get an entrance slot and you go in, you can stay inside the Blue Lagoon itself as long as you wish. You can see from these pictures here the incredible Blue Lagoon, and the bottom right picture is a fully booked Blue Lagoon. So once you're in, you will never feel crowded. They really control it very well. And it is famous for its bright blue colors and the white silica mud that you can find in the water. This white silica mud has healing powers to your skin. So you go into the Blue Lagoon and you soak in the warm, beautiful waters. It feels silky. It's weird, but once you go in, it feels not like normal water. It feels silky. It's amazing. And you get that white mud, put it on your skin, and you walk out of the Blue Lagoon with baby skin, I'm telling you. It really works. I highly recommend visiting the Blue Lagoon when you come to Iceland, especially for the first time. We are also lucky enough to be so far north that we have the amazing Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. Like Sally and Dennis have in their backgrounds, the incredible Northern Lights. What a bucket list thing. And I can tell you, as an Icelandic person, I have seen them 1 billion times, give or take. I never get tired of the sight of the Northern Lights. It is such a magical thing to view. When you stay in Reykjavik, we have 3 different types of tours that we can take you to go from the city center to go and view the Northern Lights, hopefully. Remember, it's a natural phenomenon, so we can never guarantee it. But we do promise that we'll make sure that we give you the best possible opportunity. We have this incredible forecast system, which we monitor every single hour of the day during the winter months. So here you can see the strength of the lights themselves, but the strength of the lights can be really strong. And if it's cloudy, you will not see the lights anyway. So we have to monitor the cloud forecast as well. And what you want to do is you want to leave Reykjavik. You want to leave the capital city because you get light pollution from the city center. So we have three ways. From the city center, we go on a cruise. And this is my personal favorite way of going out to view the Northern Lights. We also have a coach option and a super jeep option. So these three options. The cruise is my favorite for the simple reason that it leaves from the city center and it has a nice warm indoor area with seating and tables and a kiosk for refreshments and toilets on board. So it's just a very, very comfortable way of going out in search of the Northern Lights. The coach option, you're picked up at your hotel and we leave the city center and we drive around in search of the Northern Lights where the best conditions are for that night. The same thing with our super jeeps. It's just a smaller group and it's more comfort. If you go on the cruise and the coach option, you will come again for free as well if you don't see the Northern Lights. So this is why we try our best to plan your program accordingly. The first night that you arrive in Iceland, we book your Northern Lights tour because if you did not see the lights, you will come again for free tomorrow or the night after that. So this is our method of helping you see this amazing phenomena. Want to tell you about the Golden Circle. I think after the Blue Lagoon, these are Iceland's three top sites. Leaving the city of Reykjavik, we take you to our national park of Þingvellir. So during the Golden Circle tour, which takes roughly 8 hours or so, we will start with going through Þingvellir National Park, which you can see on the bottom left picture here. This is where you will see the two tectonic plates of Eurasia and America. These two tectonic plates are being pulled apart by up to 2 centimeters every year. So you can walk this pathway here between two continents, really. And this is also home to the world's first parliament, Alþingi in Icelandic. From Þingvellir National Park, we're going to take it to the hot spring area of Geysir. So all the geysers in the world, they got their name from our original Icelandic Geysir. You're going to go and visit Geysir, but sadly Geysir doesn't erupt anymore. So it's a hot spring that's inactive. But thankfully, Geysir's little brother, Strokkur, this one right here, erupts every 5 to 10 minutes or so. So during your tour, you're guaranteed to see this hot spring erupting a few times before you continue your journey to the breathtaking Skolafoss waterfall or the Golden Waterfall. Here you can see on the left and on the right, you can see Skolafoss waterfall, this amazing glacier water thundering down into this beautiful canyon. I just wanted to demonstrate the summer and the winter experience. So when you visit Iceland as well, the summer and winter, it is almost like visiting two different countries. They look so, our country looks so different in the summer months and in the winter months. This is something that I highly recommend doing when visiting Iceland, and that is your Golden Circle upgrade. So when you're visiting these three sites, you can do it by coach. But if you do this upgrade, we will take you through all of the sites in our amazing super jeeps. Our super jeeps, as you can see on the pictures here, it's our pride and joy, really. So we get these jeeps from abroad and then we strip them off completely and modify them to Icelandic conditions. So we put massive tires on them and modify them so that they can drive through all of the Icelandic terrain, roaring up mountains, up glaciers, through rivers. So you can really go off the beaten track with our amazing super jeeps and our experienced guides. But after we've been at the waterfall, we take you up onto the glacier to our base, dress you up in warm overalls and a helmet, balaclava, everything. And you go snowmobiling for 1 hour on an Icelandic glacier. And this really changes your amazing Icelandic day to a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I cannot recommend this activity highly enough. 2 people share 1 snowmobile. You need a driver's license, but the age limit on this is only 6 years old. So your children are welcome with you, sitting in front or in the back, depending on their age. But then, of course, you will be driving the snowmobile the whole time. The south coast of Iceland is known for its very dramatic and huge variety of scenery. Here you're looking at Icelandic waterfalls, glaciers, volcanoes, black sandy beaches. If you look at the pictures here in the middle, this is Seljalandsfoss. Remember that, Seljalandsfoss waterfall, which you can, there's a pathway that you can walk behind this waterfall. We have another waterfall here called Skolafoss. You can see in the two pictures to your left. This is the same waterfall, summer and winter. So Skolafoss. And along this route as well, we have this black sandy beach here, Reynisfjara. This is the same place to your left and to your right. That's Reynisfjara black sandy beach. And why do we have these black sandy beaches? It's because ash, basically. So these black sandy beaches are basically ash. We have, believe it or not, we have a volcanic eruption on average every 4 years in Iceland. So we're a very volcanic active country. You can see on the pictures here a summer and winter experience on the black sandy beach. What you can also do when you're on the south coast, and this is, by the way, you will drive past the infamous Eyjafjallajökull volcano. Do you remember that one? That one erupted in 2010 and created a little bit of mayhem in Europe, at least, where it closed down all European airspace. You will drive past Eyjafjallajökull volcano on your south coast route. What you can do on the south coast as well is you can add on a glacier hike. So you go with our guides and we dress you with crampons on your shoes, and you follow your guide walking on an Icelandic glacier in the incredible scenery there. But my favorite thing to add on to your south coast experience is the natural ice caves that we have. So we have so many glaciers in the south coast. And one of the glaciers is located right by Katla volcano. And this picture is taken from there. So one of the ice caves that you can go and visit is this one right here. You go with our experienced guides. Again, we dress you up with crampons. You go on a little hike to go and explore these natural ice caves that we have. And they change constantly. The Icelandic glaciers, they're constantly changing. They're melting and freezing up again. And our guides are so experienced because they are on the glacier all day, every day. And they know where to find these incredible caves that you can explore nice and safely.
Beautiful.
It's amazing. It's one of my favorite activities. I love exploring our natural ice caves. From Reykjavik city center, we also go whale watching. And we go whale watching all year round from Reykjavik. In the summertime, we have approximately a 96% success rate. And in the winter, it goes down to about 88%. And that's only because the sea tends to get a little bit more choppy. So we're just a little more likely to cancel the tour. We will not go out sailing if the sea is very choppy to avoid you getting seasick for no reason. The most common whales that we see in the bay just outside of our city center are minke whales, humpback whales, a variety of dolphins. We have porpoises. And if you're in the season, which is the peak summer season, you might be lucky to see some puffin as well, because we have puffins flying around in this area. In the summer months, you can upgrade your whale watching experience to this rib boat here. And this rib boat basically leaves the harbor and it goes that much faster out into the bay and that much closer to the whales. So as you can see on board here, we only have 12 people. So it's a smaller group, more intimate, and you get closer to the whales. You can upgrade to this kind of whale watching in the summer months. One of my new favorite hobbies, I didn't even know it was a hobby of mine, because now everyone's been speaking about paddleboarding everywhere I feel in the world. It's like paddleboarding or a SUP has become such a popular thing to do. And you can do this in Iceland on a guided tour because our waters are cold. So you go with a guide and we dress you properly. So we have dry suits. If you fall into the water, you are still kept very nice and warm, I promise. We provide the paddle boards and everything. You go with your guide into this picture to the left here. This is in our forgotten fjord. So we have a fjord not far away from Reykjavik that we take you to from Reykjavik, dress you up, and off you go in this fjord and you go paddleboarding. There are no people there or anything at all. Last time I went there, I was paddleboarding in the fjord and there was a group of puffin who came flying around me. And there was no people, no cars, no houses, nothing around me, just complete silence. And best of all, I couldn't take my phone with me. So there were no emails, there were no Facebook or anything to take away my attention. And it was just complete bliss in Icelandic nature to experience this paddleboarding. But believe me when I say that everyone can do this. I do not have balance for the life of me. So I was sure that I would just be in the water the entire time, but it's okay because you don't even have to stand up if you don't feel comfortable with it. You can actually just sit on your bum or your knees and paddle around and just take in the nature around you. It is a really amazing experience. And I tried that for the first time in Iceland last summer. And today I'm completely hooked. And I go paddleboarding every single opportunity I get. We also go paddleboarding here in the west, which is Snæfellsnes Peninsula. This is the same mountain that's actually in Sally's background, Kirkjufell Mountain. We also offer a paddleboarding experience, a sunset tour right from the Reykjavik city center. Then we have the lava tunnel here. We have a number of lava tunnels in Iceland, and this is one of my favorite ones. It's only 30 minutes south of Reykjavik. So we transfer you from your hotel south to the lava tunnel. You meet your guide. We put on a helmet and a lamp, and you follow your guide walking through this entire lava tunnel. And as you can see from the pictures, this is where you can really experience Iceland, what it's known for as the land of ice and fire. Because here you're literally walking in a lava cave with the incredible red colors of the lava. But inside there, you will also see these icicles standing straight up right there inside the cave. So the guides, our experienced guides there, will tell you also all about the effects of how volcanic eruptions and our glaciers have created this incredible landscape that you're experiencing in Iceland. And that's what I really love about the lava tunnel, where you can see it with your own eyes. This one's very special. So do you remember I told you about the national park on the Golden Circle, where you can walk between the two continental plates? You can actually snorkel or dive between those two continents as well. And this is the only place in the world where you can snorkel between two continents. If you have a PADI license, you can also dive. It's up to you. You are snorkeling in glacier water right there in our national park. So this is glacier water coming in from the nearby glacier. Do not worry, we dress you properly. So we go snorkeling all year round because this glacier water is a stable 2 degrees cold all year round. Again, like I said, we dress you properly and it is completely worth it. National Geographic claimed this to be one of the top snorkeling places in the world. And here you are, as you can see from the pictures, you can see it really well from the pictures, you are snorkeling between two continents. A very, very unique experience that you can do in Iceland. This might be one of my favorites, I think, even though it's very difficult to say, but in Iceland, you can go inside an actual volcano. It's inactive, believe it or not, so you can go into this volcanic chamber. You have to hike for about 3.5 kilometers each way. So you're hiking through amazing lava fields, and it's very simple hiking. It's just straightforward so that you can reach the entrance of this volcano. And are you ready for the name? Because it's even tougher than 2010. This volcano is Þríhnúkagígur, and that's the volcano that you will go into. I'll say it again, Þríhnúkagígur. Once you've hiked to the entrance, you can see here that we take you down in a lift. You know those window cleaner lifts? That's what we have over there. So there are not that many people that go into one lift. We take you down 120 meters to the bottom of the volcano. And here you're free to go and walk and explore inside an Icelandic volcano before we pick you up again. And once you're out of the volcano, we will serve you with some wonderful traditional Icelandic meat soup. I think I've now roughly taken you through some of at least our favorite excursions that you can do while you base yourself in Reykjavik. So everything I've told you about now, you can do all year round while you're based in the city center of Reykjavik. But now I want to take you around the country because, as I explained, in the winter months, we have snowy and icy road conditions. We have some snowstorms, road closures. So we really don't want you to be self-driving in the winter months unless you feel really confident in such conditions. But the summer is the exact opposite. Because of our location, we have 24 hours daylight in the summer months. Here, by all means, self-drive and self-drive around the entire island. In 7 days, you should manage to cover the entire south part of the country. And in only 9 days, we can plan that you drive the entire circle route. And Iceland is so simple that we have a road called Road Number 1. Road Number 1 will literally take you around the entire island. So you will not get lost at all. And you will experience such a variety of Icelandic nature by doing it this way. And I just want to demonstrate to you a little bit what you could expect. In the peak summer months like July, this picture I took here from my balcony. You can see on the left, here the sun was setting. It was about 1:23 a.m. And here the sun is rising at about 2:45 a.m. So the sun basically touches the horizon and then it just picks up again in the summer months. So it is 24-hour daylight. It's a wonderful opportunity to go and explore, and you can be exploring some of our waterfalls at midnight for all I care, because it's completely safe and enjoyable and bright. What can you expect to see in the different parts of the country? So I've already sort of taken you completely around the Reykjavik area and a little bit inland here and along the south, on the south coast that I told you about, with the waterfalls and the natural ice caves. But now going further towards the southeast, you are reaching the amazing Vatnajökull Glacier. Vatnajökull Glacier is the largest glacier in Europe. And you can see from the map here how much of Iceland Vatnajökull covers. So this entire southeast area of Iceland is dominated by this amazing glacier views. My favorite would be the Glacier Lagoon that you can see in the top right picture here. So you can see Vatnajökull, a tiny, tiny portion of Vatnajökull here in the background. What happens there is that these icebergs are falling off, these chunks are falling off the glacier, and they are floating around in the nearby lagoon. What happens there is that when the icebergs are floating around the lagoon, the part that's underwater gets kind of cleaned up, because you can see from the picture here that it is sort of dirty with both sand and ash. But while it's in the lagoon, it gets kind of cleaned up, and then it continues floating around towards the Atlantic Ocean, but a lot of them get stuck on the black sandy beach on the other side, creating this location over here in the top left picture called the Diamond Beach. And you can maybe see how where the name comes from. So this is Diamond Beach, and no surprises, this is the most popular, listen to this guys, it's the most popular place in Iceland to propose, obviously, on Diamond Beach. Here in the bottom picture, you have Fjaðrárgljúfur Canyon. Anyone going to repeat after me? Fjaðrárgljúfur Canyon, this one. And of course, we have a waterfall in the southeast. We have a few of them, but this one is my favorite, called Skolafoss waterfall, or the Black Waterfall. You can see in its surroundings here with the amazing basalt columns. This one takes a little bit of a hike, but a very easy hike, only about 2 hours both ways. And your reward here is this waterfall. Now for the East Fjords of Iceland. The East Fjords, as it says, these are fjords. And here you will encounter many of the small, typical Icelandic fishing villages. So we're a fishing nation, and we've been fishing since the start of Iceland. And here you will go through some of our very charming, small, traditional Icelandic fishing villages. The East Fjords also is home to a lot of amazing sites. And there are two things that are most famous about the East Fjords of Iceland, and that is that it's the only place in the entire country where we have reindeer. We don't farm them, so we don't have any reindeer sled rides or anything like that. They're completely free roaming, the reindeer. So when you're self-driving, you may encounter reindeer there in the wild, or you may not. Another thing that's famous about the East Fjords is that this is the only place in Iceland where we have an actual forest. So Iceland doesn't really have trees, to be honest. In the recent years, we've been planting them quite a lot, but this is our only natural forest. And even though we grow trees and we have trees in Iceland, they're also very small. So our very horrible joke, if you ask me, but we love it, locals. What you do if you get lost in an Icelandic forest, you stand up because the trees are like yay high. Now I'm taking you to the north part of the country, which for me is just a whole destination in itself, because North Iceland is just absolutely breathtaking in its variety of scenery. We have here a number of waterfalls. You can see the top two pictures. This is Skolafoss waterfall, which is the most powerful waterfall in Europe. So the water goes with such power down into that canyon, and of course this is glacier water, that the rocks and ground around it shake. Bottom picture here is Skolafoss waterfall, the waterfall of the gods, and this one is one of my favorites. It's one of Iceland's hidden gems. It's a waterfall called Algorith, and as you can see here, the amazing surroundings of it with all of its basalt columns and that amazing canyon. Lake Mývatn in the north is definitely worth a night or two, preferably, because there is a lot to explore there. So Lake Mývatn and the northern part of Iceland is used to be very volcanic active. It's not anymore, but the entire area is dominated by these lava fields. And this you can experience in Dimmuborgir here, for example, where you can walk through the incredible lava fields of Dimmuborgir with these unique rock formations. And we have all of these paths here where you can hike through the lava fields, anything from 15 minutes up to 3 hours. It's up to you how much you want to explore of that area. You can see in the bottom picture here we have some pseudo craters, so inactive craters. And the top right is Hverfjall mountain. This was a tephra explosion. So what happened is that when it erupted, it imploded, creating this massive, massive crater. As you can see, if you look at the photo very closely, you can see little dots there, which are cars. So you can drive your car and park it here, and you can walk up this pathway to the top and walk the entire rim of the crater to see both inside the crater itself and the entire view over Lake Mývatn. Lake Mývatn is also home to some hot springs and a hot spring active area. In the top picture here, you can see the beautiful colors around it. We only have one hot spring in Iceland that actually erupts. And here I think we can be thankful for that, because as you can see from the picture, these are actually mud pots. So this is our hot spring area with some bubbling mud pots. The bottom picture here is what we call the Blue Lagoon of the north. And it's the only other place in all of Iceland where we do in fact have another Blue Lagoon. So this is the alternative to the one located close to the airport. It's the exact same concept with its silky blue waters and its white silica mud. Akureyri is a city that we call the capital of the north, because for us, this is a humongous city. It's nestled beautifully in the Eyjafjörður fjord, huge, with a whopping population of 17,000 people. So here we have a university, a hospital, and everything. You can see from right here from the city center, we go whale watching. So we have boats there and we go whale watching in the fjord. This fjord is home to such a high population of humpbacks. So you're extremely likely to see humpbacks there. And from Akureyri, we have a whopping 100% success rate, which simply means that we've never left the harbor of Akureyri without seeing whales. The last time I was there, I had 16 humpbacks playing around my boat. It's absolutely incredible. Here, I just want to demonstrate on a map. I love maps. I always want to kind of picture where I am. And here you can see when you are self-driving around Iceland, you have to go from, one of your accommodations to the other, but you're never just driving from A to B. You're always exploring. So when you move, for example, from Egilsstaðir here to Akureyri, you can see the entire route. You will be stopping and exploring the entire area. Here's the west part of Iceland and the peninsula called Snæfellsnes. Here you will experience some more of Icelandic amazing scenery. You can actually go and explore the Snæfellsnes Peninsula with a day tour from Reykjavik as well. Here you will see some amazing cave-looking rock formations, and these are bird cliffs. So there is tremendous bird life in these bird cliffs here. We have this one building. This church is one of our most famous churches for the simple fact that it's black. So we just call it the Black Church of Iceland. And this has become a very popular place, not only to photograph, but for weddings as well. So we have organized a lot of eloping weddings in this Black Church of Iceland. The picture here of this mountain, we have a lot of mountains in Iceland, but this particular mountain has become the most photographed place in the entire country, believe it or not. And that is for the simple fact that it's a Game of Thrones site. So for anyone out there who watches Game of Thrones, this is Arrow Mountain from the episodes, but in Icelandic, we call it Kirkjufell Mountain and the waterfall in front of it. In the west, we also have more waterfalls, of course, because in Iceland, you will always encounter waterfalls in very different sizes and shapes and colors. The top picture here is of Barnafoss, or the Children's Waterfall, which has the sad story that there was a natural rock bridge between these two sites. And in the old times, there were two children crossing that bridge in a snowstorm to reach church on the other side, but it collapsed. So the two children drowned. And ever since then, this waterfall has been called the Children's Waterfall. The bottom picture is lava waterfalls, because as you can see, the glacier water is pushing its way through the lava fields, creating this very unique looking waterfall. Then we have the West Fjords. The West Fjords is definitely the hidden gem of Iceland. Remember I told you about road number 1 and how road number 1 takes you around the entire country? Well, it does not include the West Fjords. And I can tell you that I'm actually personally from the West Fjords. So we are constantly fighting to become part of Iceland's road number 1 until we gave up, and we have now created road number 2. So you can follow road number 2 and explore the Icelandic West Fjords, which are still our incredible hidden gems. Here you will find some of the most amazing hiking routes in the entire country. So this entire area, if you can see on the map here, this entire area doesn't have any houses, roads, or any infrastructure. So what you have to do is you have to sail from Ísafjörður to this area, go to shore and hike there alone in the world. And over here we have Arctic foxes as well. Here is Ísafjörður in the bottom picture here. Ísafjörður is a small town called the capital of the West Fjords. So that's the largest town that we have in the entire West Fjords, with an insane population of 2,500 people. This is where I'm from personally. Here we have a domestic airport, we have a hospital, we even have a college. Beautiful town nestled in mountains, and it's wonderful to be based here for a little while. We have bird cliffs in the West Fjords as well, and here you would find these bird cliffs here, you would find the highest puffin population in the entire country. And when you park your car, you can stroll around these bird cliffs and you can get puffin really up close. It's the closest that you can get to puffins in Iceland. And of course, a waterfall, because we have waterfalls everywhere. In my humble opinion, the most beautiful waterfall in the entire country. You can just see it compared to this little boy here, how magnificent that waterfall is, called Dynjandi. And you know what, Sally, I think I have taken you roughly through my country. I could talk probably for days, but I wanted to just demonstrate what Iceland can offer as a destination to visit.
Fantastic. I'm there. I don't want to come back. Rannveig, that was amazing. I think everybody would agree there's so much more to Iceland than meets the eye and what we all think of as maybe just the Northern Lights and the Blue Lagoon. Thank you, Rannveig. That was amazing. Really, really appreciate your time this evening. And especially since you're in Namibia right now.
I am.
Yes.
That's why I'm sunburnt, because I'm
Yeah.
Icelandic. It's way too much sun.
It's the beauty of technology. So
Yeah.
thank you all. Thank
It
you for
is.
coming.